Hi, everybody. Before we get to another great interview, the Two Opinionated podcast could really use your help. And it's easy, it's free. IMDb, which is the entertainment database, imdb.com, named us a top 100 podcast. We came in at number 82. That's a big deal because there's 15 million podcasts and growing. So to be named to anybody's top 100 list, pretty big deal for us. And the way you can help is to go to imdb.com, look up the Two Opinionated podcast, and that's it. Just bringing our page up. That traffic really helps us out. Our YouTube channel is MeisterCon Pod. All we ask is that you subscribe. It's also free, but that really helps us to attract these amazing guests that we keep bringing on the program. And that's it. Two easy ways for you to support us, and we would really appreciate the help. Now let's get to that interview. Hi, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Two Opinionated. I'm so excited today. I've got producer Chris Sharpe with me. So welcome, Chris.
Hey, how you doing? Thanks for having me.
I'm thrilled to talk with you, and I can't wait to hear about Relationship Remix. Sounds amazing. Let's start this way, though. Give us a little bit of your background. You know, what's your relationship with the entertainment business? You know, kind of what do you do?
Yeah, I've been a music producer from, I guess you could say, from the age of 14, doing concerts, festivals. I do graphics, I do web design. I'm also, do a little bit of video game development,
Oh, wow.
and then also producing television. So producing television and films and documentaries. So right now, right after the pandemic, when they shut down all the events, I just put my focus into producing television and film and
that's smart because most of us wasted that time. It sounds like you made good use of it.
I realized right away you got to switch. You know, events we're doing well, but obviously when they put that wrench in the economy and shut everybody down, you gotta diversify.
You got to pivot.
Yeah,
I always say that I would give it up if we could have skipped the pandemic, but the pandemic was actually really helpful for us as a podcast because everybody was stuck at home. So anybody I said, hey, you want to come on the podcast? They said yes.
That was definitely that was a great time for content creators. 100%.
It really was. It really was. Probably, hopefully, something that'll never happen again in our lifetime, anyway.
Yes. Yeah. I don't think so. To be honest.
No, I don't either. Well, yeah. So that's kind of neat. You've got kind of a diverse background. I love that you got into producing. Producing. It's one of those. It's such a, the term producer doesn't really tell you what a particular producer does because some producers very involved in everything. Some producers, there's just the money.
That's right.
Yeah.
Definitely for me, like as a producer, I'm a creative producer.
Yeah.
So I'm involved in pretty much a lot of it, but at the same time, the people that I try to get the best people around me to create the vision, and then I let them just create. So it's not like I'm not like a harping, producer, or less like it's a teamwork. Everybody needs to put their ideas into it. That's actually what makes it a really cool project, like Relationship Remix.
Yeah, I kind of love that, and I'm assuming your main job is just making sure everything keeps moving forward so that you get everything done.
100%. Yeah, just making sure everything is coming out at a high quality level. Everyone's having a good time, dealing with any issues, but for the most part, trying to create something that will reach the globe.
Yeah. I think that makes a lot of sense, and I love that you do that. And so the new one coming out on Valentine's Day is a Relationship Remix. It's a documentary, but tell me about that one. What's this one about?
Well, I'm in a mixed relationship,
yeah,
and it wasn't very easy for me to date my wife. So I kind of wanted to find out is it just as difficult for others out there that are in mixed relationships to come together? And so my relationship is a Jamaican, I'm Jamaican, and then she's Pakistani descent. So there was some, it's a very rare couple. I mean, it's just like,
that is a kind of rare, but I like that. Very neat, very neat. Well, yeah, and talk a little bit about just some of the issues with two cultures dating like that.
Oh, there's lots. So as you watch this documentary, we interview tons of other couples as I kind of go on this journey. But there's issues of just stereotypes of like race, like, you know, I'm black, so there's stereotypes that go along with that, and you know, there's issues with you know, even couples that were together, and in his culture, like Latin culture, the man is the king and does nothing, and then the woman is not from that culture, and then she's not used to that, so it almost breaks them up. Right. There's just a lot of like divides of like, you know, I guess you could say parents and social issues and cultural issues that people don't even realize play a role in relationship. And it's not necessarily just man and woman. There's also that, but there's definitely cultural issues that are not explored, and this documentary really touches on that.
Yeah, I'm sure that when you and your wife started dating, that you had, I mean, to me, it's a good thing because you had plenty to talk about because you're coming from two completely different backgrounds.
Yes. Yeah. Like in her culture, the parents play a pivotal role in selecting her partner.
Oh, okay.
And in my culture, you can date whoever you want. You just gotta like each other, right? So,
so how'd that work with you? Kind of, I'm assuming you two met each other organically. How did that work out with her family?
all I can tell you is this, because you have to watch the full doc. But it's like when I first met her, 19, not a long time ago. I met her. I'll tell you how long it is, but I met her. She gave me her phone number, and I called her house, and her parents said, or her brother came on the phone after. Her parents came on and said, "Don't call here ever again." And now we've been married for 19 years. So it didn't go too well. I mean, from the beginning, like from the
have they eased up over time now that they know you guys are going to make it?
Yeah, I would always tell them. I had like a really cool, like in Jamaican culture, you know, there's the rough side of Jamaican culture, but then there's Jamaicans are pretty easygoing people. We love everybody. We're just chill, you know, like relax, man, all that good stuff. But, you know, but it took a long time. I mean, like maybe in the last like 5 years time, like we've been together so long, but there's still ingrained things that still causes some conflict here and there. So,
yeah, and that makes sense. Any plans to maybe watch the documentary with them?
Right now, it's gonna go on CBC. Like it's gonna be on CBC Gem on Valentine's Day. Yeah. So I'm just telling everybody to watch it at that time. We do have a screening coming up, and you know they can come if they want. So, but
well, I hope they do. I hope they do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we're cool.
Go ahead.
Yeah, we're cool. Like we're good now, but you know, I think they'd probably want to watch it in private.
Yeah. Well, you know what strikes me is relationships are so difficult when everything's perfect. You know, it's when everything goes the right way and you don't have any external pressures on you, then it's still difficult. But that never happens. And so when you add in the kind of the mixed relationship stress on top of everything else, the money, you know, trying to learn to live with somebody new, all of that stuff, it can be difficult for a relationship to survive.
Yeah, it's an added layer, and it's never really been explored to this extent, and we're tapping into it. And what I'm finding is that this is just the tip of the iceberg. There's so many couple combinations that are out there, so many different religions, so many different, you know, languages that, you know, this could be something very interesting to explore. And we plan to do that and expand the series. But we also do something really cool in this documentary. We take the two cultures and we get a music producer, and then we take elements from that culture and the elements from the other culture, and then the two couples get to make a song together. So
love that. Cultures. I think that is the absolute best idea. So by the
Yeah,
end
so
of
it's
the
a way to.
documentary, does each couple have a song, or does the song start playing when that couple first comes on?
So at the end of the documentary, yes, you do get a glimpse into the songs that each couple produced, and then yeah, it's beautiful. It's amazing.
I'm sure the show is just going to be fantastic. It sounds like it will be, but it's going to be hard to beat the soundtrack. That soundtrack is amazing. Talk a little bit about some of the artists that you've got working on. You've got some of the best artists, I'm assuming, in Canada.
Yeah, we got Jay Raj. He's a Punjabi artist on there. We got Jay Evans, who's worked with different other movies and TV
Yeah.
shows. We got Fresh Kils. He's an award-winning producer. There's just so many artists that are on it, and this is like kind of just the beginning.
Yeah, I love that you're planning to continue this. I'm assuming documentary, are you following each couple's kind of journey, or is it more of like an interview setting where they're just telling you about their relationship?
It's a little bit of both.
Yeah.
So we're kind of we have the sit down interviews, then we do like the behind the scenes,
Yeah.
and we have just interacting, walking. We capture all that B-roll. It's just more or less like the vision is to have the behind the scenes, follow them around, and the sit down. So it's not so it's a little bit more exciting. And then
Yeah.
obviously with adding music production, that makes it even way more fun.
Yeah. Yeah. That's so cool. Are all the couples the same mix, or do you have different mixed race couples?
Oh, definitely. We were searching for so many combinations. In fact, we only kind of featured people from Manitoba in this one.
Yeah.
But we had people reaching out from the States, Europe, all over. But we have a German and Filipino couple. We have a Mennonite and I think Nigerian couple. We have a Nicaraguan and Jamaican couple. So there's a lot of mixes
Yeah,
out there.
that's a lot. That's a
Yeah.
lot. So, at some point, is the plan to expand this, say, to the States or to other countries?
Oh yeah. So in my head, I'm thinking like relationship remix Atlanta, relationship remix LA,
Why
relationship
not?
remix Paris, relationship remix, right? So that's actually the vision to find out what I mean. Can you imagine the combinations in France or the combinations in Belgium?
Yeah.
It's just amazing.
Yeah, that I think it sounds terrific. How did you find the couples?
The couples, we did some just basic casting. We just,
Yeah.
put posts and advertise word of mouth. People started calling and messaging, and you know how when you post something and everyone's like tagging people,
Right.
and they click on it like, oh, this looks interesting. Hello, how are you doing? You interested in this?
Did you get a pretty large response? I'm imagining you did.
We did, yeah. So it was great. There's a lot of people. There's a lot of stories out there, and I'm finding that I'm not alone. There's a lot of people who've had some really tough times dating, and it was culturally based. And then there's some people who didn't. It was just amazing.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And a lot of times you never know, when you're going to run into bad situations as a couple. They just happen. And sometimes you just get lucky.
You just I think it is luck. I think that when it comes to finding your partner, you guys just need to be on the same page. And in my case, my partner was resilient, and she didn't give up. And every time they broke us up or moved her away or did whatever, we ended up having a connection and came back together each time.
Yeah. I love that. I think it's such a good idea. And what a great time to put it out right on Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
That wouldn't be a terrible date night. You get like a charcuterie board and just watch the show.
But it's happy endings. Like there's definitely the conflicts that
Yeah.
people have, and then there's the resolution, and then there's the solution, and then there's the excitement. So there's a celebration. It's always the music adds to the celebration. So there's a happy ending at the end of.
Do you have a website for the show?
Yeah, you can go to blackfilmspacemanitoba.com. and that's my production house. You can go and check out some of the other projects I'm working on and Relationship Remix.
Yeah, it seems like you could highlight a lot of different couples from the actual documentary on a website. It
Of
wouldn't be
course,
a, you could do all kinds of stuff with that.
I think this is definitely going to expand. Obviously, the catalog of the albums that could be produced, making just amazing music, because the next step is working with famous artists with each couple, right? So like there's so many ways to expand this to make this even bigger, and that's the direction we're going.
What's your favorite food from your wife's culture?
Oh, that's one of the reasons why I married her. She gets mad at me when I say that. She's like, "That's not a good reason to get married."
I don't know. That's a good reason in my book.
Me too. And so, but yeah, I would say the best foods that she makes is the butter chicken. She does like tandoori.
I like some tandoori.
But we mix it, like we mix it together. So like she does like even my culture like jerk chicken, but then we put Pakistani like Indian spices on it.
Oh,
So
how's that taste?
this is what I'm saying. You know what's actually kind of funny is that she says it in the documentary, but she says coming together makes a new culture.
I love that. That's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. I dated a girl in college, wonderful woman. We're still friends, but I probably stayed in the relationship longer than I should have just because I loved her mother's cooking. And I was a starving college student. So every weekend we'd go back to her mother's place and she'd cook, and I was like, I don't think I can break up with her.
Well, it's funny because like her mom is a great cook, like an amazing cook, was the best cooking that I've ever tasted. And then eventually my wife became even better than her mom.
Oh, wow.
But when in the documentary, there's a part where I first started dating, when they finally let me date her 7 years later, they would always bring me over, but they would always buy KFC, but I wasn't there for the KFC. I wanted the traditional Indian food. So it was really frustrating in the beginning, but eventually they switched and got to the spicy food. And then they would always say to me, "This is too spicy, Chris." But they didn't realize I'm Jamaican. It's just a natural thing to have spice.
My wife's Mexican, and it's very similar. When we're around her family, I get a lot of that. She has to tell them, you gotta cut down the spice a little bit. I like spice, but I can't handle it. Like, I immediately start sweating, and I'm just like, I'm fine. Just ignore the outward appearance.
See, that's the beauty of the cultures, right? Like that's just like, it's awesome.
Well, that's the part. Usually you can come together over food. You may have to figure everything else out, but the food part's usually not the hard part.
No, yeah.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good, because that's like when I travel, that's the first thing I'm worried about. Well, what kind of food do they have there?
Exactly.
I don't want to go somewhere that there's nothing there I want to eat. What kind of food? That's a big component for me.
Yeah, food is very important, and I always tell my sons, I'm like, we have 4 kids now.
Yep.
But I always tell my sons, make sure your wife can cook or you're gonna starve.
That's truth. Like I can cook a few basic meals. If she's sick or maybe she's not feeling like cooking, she works, so she's working all day, she doesn't feel like cooking, then I can throw something together. It's not a tenth as good, but it'll keep us from starving till whatever. I always did if she cooks, I'll clean up. I'll do all the cleanup. She doesn't have to do any of it.
I do that.
I'll even set everything out for her. Like, I'll do the pre-stuff if she'll just cook it, and then I'm happy to clean it up. It's worth cleaning it up for her.
And don't get me wrong, I can cook, and I'm teaching my sons to cook too.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. Teach them, because that's something that my mother tried. I just didn't have any interest in it. But now
I just said to them, like, I think it's a nurturing thing. Like, my sons will be able to cook for her too and cook for the kids, and I do too as well. But I think it's a nurturing. It was just one of my things. Like, if I'm going to marry someone, they have to be able to cook, because in my head I'm thinking it's a nurturing thing. Food is such, it brings people together.
It does.
And if you can cook, that means it's going to be a great home. That was kind of my thoughts.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that because that's where you gather as a families around the table.
Right. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I love that. How old are your children?
I have an 18-year-old, 17. Also have a 13 and an 11.
Oh, you are right in it right now.
Yeah. So 3 boys and 1 girl. Yeah.
You're all well. How which one's the girl? How old is she?
Oh, she's 13.
She's probably already running the show.
Oh, oh my goodness. She definitely got, the Jamaican bully in her. Yeah, she's definitely running the show. She's like, I thought my boys would be me, but it's like looking at myself and my daughter. It's a pretty interesting
That's
scenario.
Hilarious. Did you and your wife also get a song?
Yes, we did.
So who did the music for your song?
His name is Jay Evans.
Oh yeah, Jay, yeah.
Yeah, and the song is called "Follow Your Dreams."
Oh, I listened to that one with that because I got to hear a few of the. That's a good song.
It is amazing. Yeah, Jay is he is an amazing producer. He's probably one of the best in the world. A lot of people just don't know of him yet, but he's especially with his documentaries, he's really going to push him through. But he does work with so many like A stars and celebrities out there. So
yeah. So what went into the song selection? Did you have to give him things that about your relationship that you kind of wanted in there? What went into picking the song?
Oh yeah, so it's just like songs that we liked, like popular culture, and then also elements from, for me, it was like Caribbean elements. Her was like Indian elements, and then songs that she liked. So then it'd be a pop culture song that's popular, but then it has sound effects like, tabla or certain elements from our cultures in there. So it's just it's a really cool mosaic, and then you just remixing these songs, and then obviously like one of the artists on ours was Punjabi, so he sang and rapped in Punjabi, and then the artists that were on Follow Your Dreams were actually from Jamaica, sending us the verses.
Oh, that's amazing. How did you come up with that idea? Because that's a great idea. The connecting the music to it, because it gives you something tangible. I love that. How did that idea come about?
Honestly, when it comes to, I've noticed like when I make things, I like to try and not keep it into one genre. So if it's just TV, I also want to combine it with another industry. Sure. So then it expands the reach, and then it also makes it cooler. So it's kind of like what Lego does. Now they're doing like Star Wars, and now they're doing Harry Potter.
Yeah, it's funny. My son does the podcast with me. He's a children's librarian during the day, and he is all up in the Lego right now. That's what he's doing. It's like he's making Star Wars scenes for the library, and just having the best time.
No, it's awesome. No, but remixing genres and things is kind of my forte with projects.
Oh, I like that. So it's not just a relationship remix. You remix a lot of things.
Now it's also the relationship remix, and it's a music remix. Yeah, it's really amazing. Kind of, it comes together quite well.
Did you have difficulty getting artists to sign up? I'm guessing that once they heard the idea, they're like, "Yeah, I'm in."
Oh, they were in. Yeah. It wasn't even the issue.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
So there was literally 3 couples had got songs on the show, but then we expanded some of them with some remixes and then a couple other songs. But yeah, it wasn't a problem. It was more or less like, they were excited to be a part of it, and it was just came out so well.
Yeah, I love that. Did you discover anything about your wife or your relationship that surprised you?
Yeah, I found out that she went through a lot more than I thought, and she's very resilient. And the fact that she stayed through all of that it just blew my mind.
Did it make you closer filming it?
Oh yeah, definitely. It made us very tight.
Yeah, I'm excited to see this one. That's pretty great. It's we're still in that process. of we don't get a lot of content from Canada, but it's improving or start. It
Mhm.
makes no sense. All you have to have is an app. Why are
Yeah.
you limiting it to one country? Every country should be able to download the same app.
Well, that's the reason why I started producing is because in Winnipeg, it's the third largest filming market in Canada.
Yeah.
Most people don't even know that.
No, I
And,
didn't realize that either. So I'm guessing Vancouver, Toronto, and then Winnipeg.
and Winnipeg, yeah, but Winnipeg is more of a service city at this point, as far as the big productions come in and film like Nobody or a Chucky movie or
Yeah.
like whatever's going on. They come and film the big hallmarks here, and then, but the producers like me, were not getting our stuff out. So then I started this company because I was pitching, and then I was like, oh, forget it. I'm just gonna just create my own company, and then here we are. Now I actually have it on a broadcaster, and it's coming out to the world. So it's quite amazing.
That has to be pretty rewarding to see something, this idea that you came up with, basically just because you were in the situation. So you came up with this idea, and now you're getting to see it actually on the screen.
It is pretty surreal. It's a little bit overwhelming too. It's scary. It's fun. I don't even know it, but it's in life, if you get a chance to make what you love, then you just gotta just go with it and enjoy every moment.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's a good philosophy to have. And you said you got to do a little premiere. You had a little
Oh,
opening party.
that's gonna be on Monday, the 10th of February.
That's pretty
So
exciting. Are you doing the whole red carpet thing?
no red carpet, but we'll have some banners, posters. We'll do some speaking at the beginning, and then right now it's basically a full house. It's basically sold out.
Have you got to see it on a movie screen yet?
No, no.
Oh, that's gonna be a good night.
I'm gonna sit in the back though, because I don't want to sit in the front. I don't want to feel like all the eyes are on the back of my head. So I'm
Yeah,
gonna
yeah,
sit. Yeah.
yeah. That'll be exciting. Though I'll have to check out the Instagram. I'm sure you'll post pictures there.
Oh yeah, definitely. And then it will be worldwide on CBC Gem, which is free.
Yeah,
It's like CBC's Netflix.
yeah.
Um, and then everybody
Well,
can
it
watch it.
seems like if this was done, well, not even done here, but it seems like a Netflix type of show.
Oh, it is. I'm developing a new pitch deck with the full vision, and I do have the head of Netflix Canada's contact and a few others, but
Okay.
we'll see. We'll see who I send it off to.
Hey, sometimes knowing the right person to get a hold of, that's a victory in itself.
Definitely, definitely.
I run into that with the podcast. It took a while sometimes to figure out who actually I need to talk to if I want somebody on the show. Sometimes I get the right person, sometimes I wouldn't, but you keep pushing till you get who you need, and then you keep that contact.
That's right.
What's so after this one? Obviously, you're all in this one right now, right in the middle of it. What's next? Any other projects coming that we can kind of keep an eye out for?
Yeah, I have a project called Kung Fu and Basketball coming.
Oh yeah, tell me about that one.
Oh, it's fun. So it's kind of based off of a true story, but not a true story.
Okay.
My cousin's son got into the NBA,
Oh, nice.
and he plays on the Portland Trailblazers. His name is Shaden Sharpe,
Oh, of
and
course. Yeah.
so what ended up happening is I created a story where there was a father who was kind of jealous of his cousin, so he wanted his son to be in the NBA, so he pushes his son to be a basketball star. But then the son ends up getting into martial arts, starts to fall in love with it secretly, and then basically he just has to choose between either the basketball or kung fu. And so it's kind of a coming of age story where he has to choose, and then it's the father situation, and then it's just a great movie, but it's not
That
hokey.
sounds like a great movie.
Yeah, it's an action drama, but yeah, it's a great movie. And then so my son is the main actor in it, and then I'm reaching out to my cousin to see if we can get the cousin in it. So then then it's actually two cousins actually in the same movie that
Oh,
are actually related.
That's amazing. Dad, has your son done any acting before?
Yeah. He's acted in Shoe Addicts Christmas, Hallmark movie, and he's also been in Tales from the Hood 3. He had a speaking role in that one. Whole scene.
Oh, that's terrific. Yeah. Any idea? Is that still early, or any idea when that one would be out?
We're in the development stage right now, scripting, and then budgeting, and we have an award-winning producer on board already. He loved it, and we're developing it. It's gonna get made. It's gonna be a feature film.
Yeah, it sounds like it needs to be. I'd watch that. That sounds pretty good.
Oh, it's good. It's got action. It's got love. It's got tears. It's got everything. It's this nothing hokey. This is like a real, like kind of based off of a true story. But I wasn't really jealous, but I was more excited for my cousin and but I'm the type of person I can take an idea, tweak it, and make it into more of a commercial story that's global that actually has, like, to be honest, real life is what makes these stories.
That's right. And, it's not as quite as good a story if you're just happy for your cousin. Yeah, there's not much
in that story.
Have a little drama.
Exactly. Yeah, it's Kung Fu and basketball, and that one's coming, and then there's a few other ones. My daughter and I did produce also a cartoon called Cell Phone Girls, and it's about cell phone superheroes. It's literally a kids show. So that one's also being pitched.
Well, you're staying pretty busy.
Yeah, you can't put all your eggs into one basket, but don't overwhelm myself. So it's usually about 3 or 4 projects at a time.
Yeah, that's not terrible. They're not too overwhelming. Although I'm sure right now it's a little overwhelming.
Yeah, it's getting exciting, but I'm gonna embrace it. Just take it, and we'll run with it.
Who directed for you for the relationship remix?
Jacob Markham. He directed it. So he's a young, talented cinematographer in Winnipeg. He has a company called 47 Filmworks. We just gelled, and then we've been working together on this project and also on Kung Fu Basketball.
Pretty good. That's pretty good. Do you have any aspirations to kind of step behind the camera at some point?
I did the acting in the trailer that we have for Kung Fu Basketball.
Yeah.
And then obviously with Relationship Remix as well. So it's cost effective, and I wouldn't say I'm an actor per se, but I mean I've been in front of the camera a lot most of my life. So
you're comfortable at least.
Yeah, fairly comfortable.
Yeah, acting's so even when you're just being yourself, acting's difficult. It may be more difficult when you're trying to just be yourself.
Well, it was like when I was, yelling at my son in the trailer for Kung Fu Basketball. I just envisioned when he annoys me. So his facial expressions was just as real. He's like, "Is this real?"
Yeah, I know. I was going to say he probably didn't love that.
No, he didn't.
Oh, shoot. Well, Chris, thank you for taking a little bit of time to tell us about Relationship Remix. It's out on CBC Gem on the 14th. Is there a time that it comes out?
It's probably on there at midnight, most likely.
Yeah, it comes out right, kind of like Netflix does. It just drops right as midnight hits. That's exciting. You'll have to come back at some point and kind of give us an update on how it's going.
I will, definitely, and appreciate the time, and excited about watching some more of your shows as well. They're awesome.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, thanks for watching. I've always said it's not me. I just get good guests.
There you go.
I know nobody wants to hear me. I'll bring on good people to talk to. Before I let you go, Chris, where can we find you? You mentioned the website, but where can we find you? Where can we find the documentary, on social media?
Yeah, you can find us on social media on Facebook and also Instagram at Black Film Space Manitoba.
Yep.
And also go to my website again at blackfilmspacemanitoba.com. Check it out, and follow us. Look up Relationship Remix. You'll find it, and drop us a line, drop us some likes, and I'll follow as well.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I love the name of the company. It sounds very sci-fi to me. I know it's not, but it does sound kind of sci-fi.
I'm working on something. Working on some stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, you definitely have to come back at whenever the next one comes out.
Anytime. Appreciate it.
Yes, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, hold on one second. Producer Chris Sharpe. Thank you guys for tuning in with us. I love the idea behind Relationship Remix, so definitely check that out. CBC Gem on the 14th. To me, it sounds like a great date night. You get your your meat and cheese platter, a little bit of prosecco or some wine, and sit down and kind of watch something that I think by the end of it you'll be feeling better about just about everything. I think it's going to be a fun watch that ends well. So hope you'll check that out. Give Chris your support. I think we'll be seeing that. I will not be surprised if we see that here in the States on Netflix or one of the others. Definitely give Chris your support and find that soundtrack because it is outstanding. You are going to love. You're going to be amazed with that soundtrack. Definitely check that out. If you're finding us for the first time, so happy that you're here and would love to have your support. It's easy to do. It's free. Our YouTube channel is MeisterCon Pod. Please subscribe. It helps us so much and doesn't cost you a dime. Really does help us out. If you go to our website, you can find 904 and counting episodes, audio and video versions. If we're doing anything in studio, if we're covering a convention, if we're going on location, anything we have going on, be on the website, meistercon.com. So please check us out there as well. Thank you guys so much. Till next time. Bye, everybody.